Hello, Internet! It is your fan favorite host of your fan favorite podcast, Sneaky Devil of Fanfiction, Contempt 9002. Today we are joined by Max Force Atin and Cruel Rune. Thank you for that intro. You truly introduce yourselves in the best ways. Anyway, with all that being said, now let us get right on into it. And because it is a Tuesday, I am sure you were all eager to visit some of the fanfics we had previously covered on this podcast. And you're probably wondering, what fic could we possibly cover today?
I remember I didn't like it.
You won't. It is
What
Minecraft
is
in
that?
Remnant.
No.
Oh boy.
See, I recently read a fic about John marrying Cinder. It was surprisingly funny.
I've seen a couple of those, and they were actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, that one was really good. Just like every
Just
single chapter begins
Please
with
kill me before this
Cinder is a
happens.
monster, and she knew it.
Okay.
By the way, Sneaky, where was that one you linked? Was that one just in fanfiction? The one earlier that you were telling about that was that was actually kind of decent.
That was one of our first ones.
Minecraft Remnant? Creeper? Oh, man.
That was on our first one, Discord. Alright. I have acquired my assorted apple-based beverages.
Remember, guys, he has an apple juice problem.
I do have an apple juice problem.
I mean, it looks like apple juice. It ain't.
It tastes like apple juice. Smells like apple juice. Probably apple
Smells
juice.
like apple cider.
That's apple juice.
Technically, yes.
Anyway, shut. This is Minecraft Remnant. As a reminder, this is supposedly a humorous science fiction story in which Steve, the main character of Minecraft, of a modded Minecraft, the author has not deigned to tell us what
Dragon
mod.
Ball Z mod.
Probably, has been teleported into Remnant. And a bunch of logical
I would say, and despite the fact that he looks like a normal human being,
Yep.
Since nobody's gone, what the fuck is this cube
person,
monstrosity?
Yep.
Kill it with fire.
Yep. And
he still builds things out of blocks.
Yep.
Like, we didn't even get the obvious but stupid joke about why the fuck is everything not a block? What is going on?
Yeah, he just everything is just completely normal except whenever he punches something, it pops a 1 by 1 meter square.
Every time he gets a hit, he makes the Minecraft damage noise.
Yep.
Yes, actually.
Yep. Anyway, so the author starts off chapter 2 with, well, this has become more popular than I thought. 249 favorites at 5 chapters posted.
To be fair, he
Well-
may have been expecting everyone to attempt to murder him.
That's fair.
Well, yeah.
Which, speaking of which, as per Twitch guidelines, leave the authors alone.
Oh, yes, that's it.
For now.
No,
So-
not for now. Always.
Yeah, we can't actually
Don't you
abide by
get
them
us in
doing that.
fucking trouble, damn it.
But before we start this, can I just say I'm surprised that there's more than a single crossover for Minecraft and Ruby.
There was
There's
only a
more
single?
No, that there's more than just one. Like
Oh.
there are 9 apparently,
Oh.
which is like I
See-
still currently have the only infamous Halo crossover, both series in which we are high
Wait.
science fiction.
Are
And
you
time
still
travel
the
is
only
involved in
holder?
one of them.
Are you still the only
I think
fanfic?
Last
No
I
way.
checked a couple weeks ago.
Shit.
And it's just like, okay, well, Infamous has time travel just as a plot point.
It
And
does?
hey,
It's one thing to laugh
Yes.
at fanfiction, it's another thing to
I
laugh at the author.
I was not sure that it did, but
It
yeah,
does.
yeah, no, the main villain, spoiler from a 2007 game, 2008. The main villain is a future version of you.
oh, I thought it was just you anyways. Like,
Anyway,
No, it's you if you pick all the dick options.
heads
I
up.
always pick all the div options. I mean, what? How
Yeah,
else would
I'm
you
s-
play it?
Why am I still the only
What
one?
the shit?
Like, these are like perfect for it. Maybe I'll try writing another
Heads
chapter.
up! Exclamation
Oh.
point as a black-haired girl in combat skirt falls into artificial lake that Steve made earlier.
Okay, so I know we're
What?
operating on Minecraft physics. How the hell did he make?
Bucket of water and a big pond.
I just realized if he's allowed to do that, he has literally just solved Remnant's like freshwater issues.
He's just a fucking like landscaper. I love the idea.
Like here's the problem with sticking Steve with Minecraft physics in. Congratulations, he breaks the conservation of mass and energy. You no longer have to worry about world hunger.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I was gonna say not only that, it's oh, we need more space in this city. Well, he can just dig down.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
the
can.
amount of digging he can accomplish in a day, and all he has to do is go to them and be like, "Give me all of the diamonds."
you see,
And-
you're thinking of a good idea.
Yeah, see, yeah, that's
This
where you're
is
going
not
wrong.
a good idea.
Is that you assumed the author was intelligent.
You could
that is what
literally
you-
have like walls that go into the fucking skyline around every single.
I was
In
gonna
a
say
day.
you could make Attack on Titan look like a bunch of chumps,
Yeah,
and
I
you
think
could
like
make it.
Minecraft is overpowered in this, and I
Anyway.
can't believe I've said those exact words.
I
Soon
was gonna say,
followed by
and you
another
could make
big
it nigh
splash.
indestructible too. Like, the Grimmer punching obsidian. That'll take him like real time, 10 hours.
Soon followed by another big splash as a flying blonde teenager who soon swims with Ruby to edge of pond. What?
Words were said.
Words were
I-
indeed said.
Ow. My brain tried to comprehend that and I took sanity damage. Well, that was
San minus
awfully
5.
convenient. Ruby heard the blonde next to her mumble as they swam to the shore. What? Why is a...
We heard
I've-
black skirt. We all heard and read black skirt, right?
Creeper.
No,
What?
we heard black-haired girl in a combat skirt.
I heard creeper.
Wait, how is... Okay, so you're falling.
Uh-huh.
And there just happens to be a lake from where you're
Uh-huh.
falling.
Yep.
And you fall into this lake.
Yeah.
And your first thought is, wow, that was convenient there was a lake there.
Yes.
Okay.
Not.
Okay.
Hey, there never used to be a fucking lake here, guys.
Why would
That could actually be.
why
a good
would
plot point.
why
It's like,
Wait, no, hang on a second. Why would Ruby Rose, who's lived in Patch for most, if not all of her life, know about there being a lake in the middle of a groom-infested forest sitting right beside Beacon?
guys.
No, Ruby's not saying
I'm gonna
it. It's,
I'm
the
gonna say
blonde
this in the
next to Ruby.
easiest way possible.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There are people who live in urban societies who don't know what the fuck's in the backwoods behind where they live. So
That's
this
fair.
one I can give a pass.
Anyway, but no, so the thing is, what I'm confused here about is, again, the author decides to make the characters of Remnant comment on something that is very not what they should be concerned with. Like, Yang in the previous chapter was concerned with the fact that there was fencing put up around a garden, full-fledged farm with multiple different plots.
And she was like, "Oh, where'd this fence come from?"
Yeah, she was more concerned with the fence than the food. But now the author's choosing to have the characters comment on how oddly convenient there being a lake there is. And it's just like, okay, well, how is that oddly convenient? It's convenient, to be sure, like, oh wow, I was gonna fall off this thing anyway, and I'm glad that I could at least hit this puddle of water to not just completely, splatify onto the ground and, break all my limbs. That it is convenient that there is water there. It's not oddly convenient. It's not awfully convenient. Like, no, this isn't something I need to remark on about how weird
I would say, here's the thing.
People don't get the word
oddly.
awful
Here's the
right.
thing. It's oddly convenient for us, the readers, who know what's going on. But that's not the story.
Like, if this is Deadpool talking, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. It is awfully convenient that there just happened to be a lake where you fell.
Okay, if there's a plot twist that Jean is just Deadpool, I will accept this.
Yeah, honestly, imagine
just
writing
in
that.
this
Just
story.
Like, John is the universe's tutor.
I actually read a story where John was written like Deadpool, and it was actually pretty funny.
No. Is he Deadpool or is he replaced by Deadpool?
Well, no, he's not replaced by Deadpool. He's not literally Deadpool either. It's just he's written in the same style as Deadpool.
Gotcha. Okay. Side note: I would like to see Deathstroke take the place of John Arc.
I'm sure that'll go over well.
Yeah, that just end with just like him taking over Remnant, because nobody over there is literally halfway competent.
Yes, I know. That's the point. He'd look at what Cinder's plan and be like, "God damn, you're stupid."
Super Potatoes says, not to mention falling into water from a great height is also like falling into concrete. Yes, that is true.
No, I mean, if you have proper diving skills, it's better.
Well, yes, but you can actually disrupt the water firing your gun at it. I mean, they have large enough caliber.
Yang especially.
Yeah, so both Yang and Ruby could potentially fire their gun at the water to disrupt the surface tension of the water before they fall into it.
Well, Ruby can fire a dozen shots and probably just reverse her momentum.
Yeah, but we're going with the scenario that occurred.
They have options.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the fic I posted is real or not. All I want to know is that it takes this to a whole new level.
What did you post?
Well, first off, it was mobile mode, so I'm gonna penalize you for that one.
M.fanfiction.net. Imagine that.
Born this way, modern AU high school Naruto is a transgender teen. Sasuke is a bored, angry rich brat with a clingy ex, and Sakura is on Team Edward and has issues. And Kakashi is the school counselor. Warnings inside. Intolerant flames will be deleted. On an indefinite hiatus, I may rewrite this.
Yo, imagine. Harry Potter fic, the Kakashi is the basilisk.
Gay and straight pairings, mentions of violence, hate crimes, self-mutilation, teen pregnancy, abortions, cursing, drama angst, 18-year-olds, and lots of pairings.
Yo,
Hey.
wait, hold up.
Hey, at least
Yo,
we
wait.
don't have MP. We've got
What the
that
fuck?
going for it.
You mean
Okay, I'm
What?
gonna say we
You
should
mean sleeping?
probably not read
Off
this.
Oh no,
on here.
absolutely!
Oh,
I
yeah,
am
they're
not.
not
I'm not.
they're
No,
not
I'm
abort
by
Boruto.
no means am I going to read this fucking garbage. But
But
considering the
Sneaky, they're
fact,
gonna abort Boruto.
oh my god, there's literally 30 there's 150k words of this. Like, this is the exact sort of shit that gets me angry, because it's like, at what point is this Naruto at all? Like, you are literally just using the names so people will click your trash story, because you know, maybe not consciously know, but you at least subconsciously know that your idea is so fucking garbage that the only possible way you could ever get someone to read it is by slapping on the popular names of a different fandom to it.
Like, I don't usually like to agree with Sneaky in terms of this isn't even the same character, but none of this is not. This is the kind of thing where I will just say, literally none of this is Naruto.
And on top of
Literally
that-
none of this.
On top of
You
that,
mean
in this day and
Naruto?
age, you would actually. This is the most depressing part, to be honest. Actually, the most depressing part is the fact that 50 Shades of Grey continues to be a New York bestseller with each successful sequel. But ignoring that,
Jesus Christ.
ignoring the fact that women are complete degenerates. The worst.
I mean, I would say you're wrong, but I'll just be staring balefully at Isley.
I still hope this one's reviewed someday. Drop the link in the Discord. I don't allow links in my chat. But no, like the state of young adult novels these days. If this person had taken their idea, stripped everything about Naruto and all the references to Naruto out of it, and just sold it, like, a main character's name is Rick, but now he's Belarus.
I see.
It probably would have sold.
It probably would have sold actually decently well in the young adult section in age. Like, literally,
Like, whatever happened to young adult novels where it taught the kids
NASCAR
life?
2016.
What?
Crossover version. It's the Sonic the Hedgehog
Oh yes, the
NASCAR
Sonic
thing.
the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah, no, that
yes.
thing.
No,
we know about
we've
that thing
covered
already.
that. No, we've already covered
You know, where are the young adult novels that taught kids everything is not okay? Sometimes people are dicks. Find a few good friends that you can trust.
Not
Like-
exactly the best. Not exactly the best series out there, but I don't know if you ever remember Atin, maybe you, Max. The pretties, the specials, and the uglies.
Oh yeah.
series? Like,
I only ever read the first book because my school library
Never-
didn't get the rest of them, and I
Never
wasn't
heard of
paying.
it.
I was not paying Scholastic.
basically,
you know,
it
$10.
was
Yes, Scholastic Book Fair.
Basically, the series was about high school in the sort of semi-dystopian future where
with
rich people had
genetic
these,
engineering.
yeah, with genetic engineering, and there was multiple cliques, and basically there was one clique where the rich families were capable of doing a constant retroactive genetic engineering to make themselves look whatever the current fad was, and then there was the poorer people, the lower caste, that weren't able to do anything in terms of that, and maybe they would have like a fad that was a couple fads out of date or something as a genetic engineering. But then there was a third group that like were basically super soldier tier of genetic engineering.
Yeah.
Of course.
Jesus Christ, Super Potatoes, thank you.
What's Potatoes done?
He
Holy
just,
hell!
yeah,
This
he
man
just
is
gifted
like he is single-handedly funding this channel at this point.
more or
And I
less.
don't know why.
I appreciate it regardless.
I think for now Sneaky entertains him.
Honestly, I will entertain anyone for money. The level of entertainment depends highly on how much money.
What he's saying is he's a whore. And a relatively cheap one.
And no, hold on a second. Atten heard my price for the gay. I said if someone came up to me and said $60 million and you do gay things for a year, I'll just be like, alright, fam. How gay do you want to get it?
I specifically did not include the gay stuff because I knew what your price for that was. Because we had that discussion about how much would it take.
At $60 million is a decent price.
Man, I'll get I'll get rid of every shred of dignity I have for $60 million. I can just give Google 10 of that and disappear from the internet forever.
Anyway.
Hey Google, here's 10 grand. Forget about me.
Forget about it. So anyway, yeah.
I feel like it's gonna cost more than 10 grand for that.
Or I'm sorry, 10 million.
I'll wrap up my little rant with the young adult series. But anyway, so the young adult series, that series specifically, main character's a girl. She goes from the lower caste, makes her way up to the upper caste, and the special caste, and eventually tears down the whole system. But the whole point of that series, at least from what I remember, is that allowing outside shit to define you and allowing yourself to be caught up in cliques and groups and not thinking for yourself is bad.
Yes.
Anonymous gifter gave Aura King a sub. Jesus Christ.
I didn't ask you if I have dignity. God knows I don't. I'm on this show.
Exactly. And then you go and talk about comics like a freaking American weeb.
I'm sorry.
Well, look, there's no, nerd has literally no meaning anymore. So, yes, American weeb.
So here's the question, and I'll ask Ryder this: what do they call Western weebs in Japan? Because I'm sure you know this.
Is he still here?
I don't know if he's.
I mean, he's here. He's in the chat.
He might have just walked away.
Westaboo, apparently. So, like a fucking Westaboo you are.
Except I live in the West.
Yeah, and you can still be a weeb and live in Japan.
Why are we having this conversation?
To not read the story in front of us.
Anyway, so back to this garbage story.
Ouch.
So, Blake, Yang, and Steve were observing the two in the pond. Did your sister just fall from the sky? Blake asked incredulously, wondering if this was a figment of her imagination. The fish in her stomach told her otherwise.
No, hold on a minute. Why would she be confused? She knows everybody was launched from a fucking cannon, essentially.
Mm-hmm. See, that was another thing that always got me in canon. It's just like, why is Yang being like, oh my god, everyone needs to stop having weird things happen? It's like, you literally started this trip off being catapulted with a futuristic catapult into a forest filled with grim
demons.
Like,
Didn't you say creeper? Oh man.
Like, my sister fell from the sky after attacking a grim that flies.
Slander.
And this is a surprising thing?
You're confused by this?
Oh my god! No, okay, now to be fair, Nora riding a grim to death would be a fair thing to be like, what?
But that's the only one.
Yeah, but that's the only one. It's like, oh, John and Pierre are running in. They're like panicking and crap. Like, oh my god, what's going on? It's a grim. You're in a forest filled with grim. They're being chased by a grim. Why is this a shock? Anyway, back to the rehash of canon. So canon gets rehashed. Steve goes, I'm shocked she didn't need a saddle for that. Canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash. Steve was confused. And he goes, "What in the nether did I just witness?" And Blake goes, "That girl just arrived in on Ursa?" She asked incredulously. You know, again, to be fair, the only thing you get to be incredulous about. Yang was interrupted once more, and blah blah, canon rehash, and the Deathstalker picks up a tree and throws it through Steve's house, and Steve goes, "My house," in the same tone you would yell, "My cabbages!"
I see.
Okay.
And then Yang and Ruby are hugging each other, and they're both getting each other exceedingly wet. Blah blah, canon rehash. Ruby is Yang's younger sister. They're related? Question mark, exclamation point. Steve yelled in shock, not expecting two people to be family, let alone friends.
It's a weird thing for him to be caught up on.
Now, look. Now, to be fair, one could be like, "You're related?" If you had, say, met both of them, got to experience Yang as a, flirty, psyched up, sort of personality, and then Ruby as this shy gun nut, and then they go, "Oh yeah, no."
I would say
talk to my
with
dad.
completely different body types,
Yeah.
completely different hair colors.
And then they go, "Oh yeah, I was gonna talk to my dad." And you're like, "Wait, what? You're related?" Like, just so wildly different. But if, two random people were just like, "Oh, hey, sister, oh, hey, sister," and it's like, okay, they're related. You're like, I don't know them at all beyond just their immediate looks, and that's not really a, "you're related?" sort of thing. It's...
Yeah, they could be cousins.
It's two people that are related to each other.
Also a valid point from Nexus.
Let's see what we got here.
Son of Bad
Also,
Ruby Fink.
that's
Ozpin
like
doesn't raise an
90%.
eyebrow at the foreign element that suddenly appeared in the heavily monitored entrance exam for Super Soldier Combat School.
Oh, yes, of course.
Creeper.
Which, yeah,
no, Super
valid point.
Potatoes, the Ender Dragon was killed. The whole premise of the story is that Steve killed the Ender Dragon and got teleported in the remnant from it.
And now things ain't blocky no more.
canon rehash. And let's see, canon rehash. Yang, canon rehash. Oh wow, you're doing the literal exact same joke. So funny. Before anyone could react, Steve reacts, and he goes to the area that their Weiss was going to fall in, and he digs out a square cubic meter into the ground and pulls out a bucket, and then pours a large amount of water into this hole, and then Weiss then splashes into the pond entirely unharmed. Everyone was shock-faced by this, and everyone else was incredulous looking at this event, and thinking, did that just happen? After all, they've never experienced Steve before. Weiss was angry. She was wet, and this is not a good combination. John had the decency to blush, while Steve removed the water out of the ground and filled the hole back up with dirt. This confused everyone even more. Weiss couldn't even yell at him because she was watching all of this happen incredulously. There was a complete aura of disbelief seen on the faces of the future students around this temple.
Why?
To be fair, even in a world of superpowers, if someone just walked up to the ground and just made some motions at it, and then suddenly a square block of it just popped out, I would still just be like, what? No,
okay,
it's
but
for
Weiss
example,
can
Yang
summon
glows.
literal ghosts.
Okay, yeah, Yang literally glows. That's her power. Yes, she gets stronger, whatever. She glows, right? Okay, fine. Ruby turns into rose petals. A little bit weird, but whatever. what's her face? Fucking Pyrrha. Pyrrha controls magnets. Oh wow, with the metal moves and shit. Not too big shock and not too big thing. Nora can get struck by thunder, and nothing happens. That's not really a superpower. Ren is
Ren makes people sad.
yeah.
That
John's
is probably
power.
the worst description of his semblance.
John's power glows, and people get better. Literally, all of these semblances I have so far described are the opposite of groundbreaking and shocking. Okay, yes, maybe it'd be a little bit weird. It's like, well, that person just turned into rose petals and moved real fast. But even then, it's like Huntsman World, not really that shocking. But if someone just like straight out, no glowy powers, no like hints of aura infusing the ground and shit, just out of nowhere, someone just walks up, punches the ground, and suddenly a block, square, perfect block pops out. And it would be like, what the fuck? Moment.
I mean, sure, I guess.
Let's see.
If nothing else, it'd be like, wow, that's an insanely strong semblance for what it just did.
Damn, son, that's a
Yeah.
dope semblance.
It's like, oh wow, you just ignored conservation of mass.
There is no physics where he comes from.
Basically.
Well, fall damage exists at least.
Gravel, sand.
No, he could go into creative mode, and there you go. You're a fucking god. Yeah, that should be like
That's Steve's semblance. Steve has switched to creative mode. Where the fuck did that voice come from?
Anyway.
Who are you?
So, words and stuff. The author's bad at writing how to use
Moderator Steve deleted
combat mode.
Grim Dragon.
And Steve is looking at all
Wait,
of
are
the
you God?
using
Maybe.
the powers.
Possibly? I'm not sure anymore.
What's a god and what does it drop?
What makes a god? Anyway,
So,
Ruby's shooting the monster in its skull, and it's just charging at her. And then a call reminds everyone that Nevermore is here. And they're all panicking and stuff. Really, really poor panicking too. Not even like good, like really getting in the mood panicking. Just, I'm trying, she yelled, panicking.
Getting in the mood panicking.
Well, no, because you know when you can read like a paragraph that really gets you into like what's going on right now, and you're like,
yes,
I feel this, and this is not it. This is not at all. Blah blah blah. Canon rehash, but like worse. Blah blah blah. Canon rehash, but worse. Blah blah. Canon rehash, but worse. Hold on, I think I can fix this. Everyone looks at Steve and they're like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then he pulls out a completely normal bow that might be glowing a little bit purple. You're never going to any damage with that, you dunes, yelled Weiss.
Did you forget how to pronounce dunce, or are you just taking the piss?
I'm just taking the piss.
Okay.
We can never be sure with you.
As she started panicking. Wait. Pansicking.
Pansicking, my favorite kind of panic.
At the Nevermore, soon turning in sky toward rest of the group. Then Steve released the arrow, and the arrow sailed through the air, a glorious arc of perfection, as it hit the Nevermore, dead in the eyes. And then the Nevermore exploded, and dive bombed straight into the Deathstalker, which also exploded, and then they exploded more and fell off the cliff.
I see.
And then everyone's like shock face. And Yang goes, you know what? I'm done. I'm gonna go home now.
I'm not the moderator here, but I still have my diamond axe.
Anyway, so everyone goes, okay, Steve, person that's weird as hell and just one-shotted to Eldergrim. What's going on here?
For
and
once,
he goes,
an appropriate reaction.
And he goes, well, I want to talk to your headmaster about that because I'm not from around here. And everyone's like, oh, that sounds good. And so then Steve built a stone staircase up the side of the cliff using his pickaxe to create a winding staircase up the side of the cliff.
Which he just does again in mere seconds.
Mm-hmm. And Ruby bugged out at this, and she's pointing at him, and then Weiss looks at him, and she's also shock-faced. And everyone then turns around to see what Weiss stopped talking for, and they're all so jaw-dropped shocked.
Attention.
Nope, goodbye, tension.
Bye, tension.
I
You've
wondered
chosen
if
well.
Steve could create a singularity by stuffing shulker boxes into shulker boxes. I don't know. That would require the author to think.
Does he still recover everything he sleeps?
Mr. Wadohuda?
Like, Steve.
What about Steve?
They just bring him completely wounded one day into, like, the fucking bed. He sleeps, and there you go. He's just maxed out.
I don't think sleeping heals you anymore.
Sup, dog? I'm fine.
Pretty sure they removed that when they added a hunger bar.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like way back in the old beta, like I want to say when we got to beta 1.8. That's when we got hunger bars, wasn't it?
I thought sleeping always healed you.
According to Tension, the author of Born This Way, the Naruto fic we looked at, has moved to Archive of Our Own, which he feels is the SJW of fanfiction, which it is, first off. And second off, I'm not shocked at all that a trans Naruto of a high school AU with no chakra.
Isn't that all that site's all about?
90% of the fanfics on Archive of Our Own are
trash?
LGBT. I mean, yeah, the T's for trash. Because there's no trans section.
No, of course.
Definitely not gonna get us banned.
I've always ignored that fuck.
I'm not wrong though. Like there's the lesbian section. This is an actual section you can enable in the filters. There's the homosexual, gay, male and male section. And there is the bi section.
This is
another filter.
It's progressive. They're talking about.
Oh no, I know. I'm saying this is the LGBT, and then there's the trash section, which is literally just everything.
All right.
Yeah, but it eats your saturation to regain health for a second. Blake goes, I don't think I can be surprised anymore, and then Steve minds his way up to Glinda and Ozpin, who are just looking at him, surprised that he exists. Hello, Headmaster Ozpin. My name is Steve. I'm hoping I can talk to you today. I am in a quite unique situation at the moment and need your assistance.
At least he's polite.
Honestly, though, it really should have been, yo, Ozpin, shit's fucked. I'm from another dimension. Help me.
So anyway, let's see. Canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash, canon rehash. And then Ozpin turns to Steve and goes, shall we go to my office?
Of course.
Yep. And that's where we're going to stop reading this story.
Oh,
honestly,
thank God.
I'm not interested enough to continue reading more chapters on the air.
He even has passable English, if not edited, but
it's mildly cringy passable English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I won't lie. I would have given props to this author here if that was the last chapter and it's like, oh yeah, well, this guy's now in charge of our civil engineering department for Vale.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, only a civil engineer would put waste transport through the recreational park.
You know, growing up, I used to wonder why civil engineers got so much shit. And then when I started seeing the dumb shit that they actually cause, like, oh, no, you guys totally deserve this. You deserve everything that comes your way. And the worst part is because a civil engineer also includes people that work in the fields, like people who do surveys and whatnot. It's like, they're doing their job right. It's the dickheads behind the desk that only have a college degree that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, at what point in your brain did you think did you think 5-lane merging into 2 lanes was a good idea in this one spot?
My father went in for engineering, and he used to tell me engineering jokes, and it went something along the lines of like, the architect makes it look pretty, the engineer makes it work, the civil engineer fucks it all up in the end. Something along that line.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a couple of civil engineers back from when I was doing engineering and I never finished. They just get high all the time and try to like buy their fucking projects.
Actually, no, we already did Ruby stories, so
That's not normal.
I think that is actually. They don't even say creeper.
Alright, so here we go. So this is going to be our next story. It's going to be a Halo Mass Effect crossover.
Oh boy.
It's a lot of subs in the chat today. Yeah, it's because Super Potato decided to buy everyone.
Wait, who? What?
Anyway, so the Enduring the Flames of War. A joint Asari-Turian operation salvaged a package from a derelict wreckage in the Terminus system, whereupon they release a force of war beyond their reckoning. Hoping to avoid another war, Commander Shepard recruits the package into her team. A simple act of kindness, unwittingly paving the way for a clash like the galaxy has ever seen. Fate directs the flames of war. It's a 452,000 word story, sitting around 32 chapters, updated between November 30th, 2015 and July 12th. There is 2,394 favorites.
Well, okay.
Meanwhile, there's 1,600 reviews. So let us see what the reviews say about this. Generally positive things so far. Every chapter is ending in a cliffhanger. Okay, excellent. I always love it when authors do that. It's like ending in a cliffhanger once, gets you.
But ending on a cliffhanger every time, I just gotta keep coming back. That's how anime does it. Only they do it shittily, and then I stop caring. Oh wait.
Yeah. There's been quite a number of stories that I've dropped because it's just literally, I know when this chapter updates, it's going to get somewhere, and then right before it actually gets there, it's going to cliffhanger. And it's just like, I'm not interested. Not interested anymore.
Yeah.
Specifically, the author's name is Barcassius. He's got a patron. He don't get me wrong though, he updates like 7 different stories on rotation or something like that every single day. Not all 7 every single day, just 1 story a day. And it's 7K updates, but it's like he has mastered the art of saying 7,000 words of nothing.
Yes.
Like characters walking into another room, 7,000 words later. Characters mid-turn, realizing something's about to happen. Chapter end. It's just like, okay, great. I don't know what happens. So, this is awesome. This is amazing. Very good. So much enjoyment. So amazing, very good. Okay. So the reviews say this story is good. Let us see for ourselves. Author's note. This is my first attempt at a Halo Mass Effect crossover, though far from my first Halo crossover. This story takes place in the middle of Mass Effect 2, and right after the events of Halo 3. This won't be a standard Master Chief joins the Normandy crew or a dimensional traveling story. Instead, this will be a merged history story that explores an alternative universe where both Mass Effect and Halo took place in the same galaxy. So, I've seen this sort of done before, and the excuse given was that the Covenant only occupied this arm of the Milky Way galaxy that we also
Which
occupied.
is retarded because we know the Covenant spans multiple spans multiple spiral arms
Yeah.
because they have to hunt humanity down all over the
Wow.
place, and they have no idea where we are. They literally just basically go from planet to planet hoping to fucking find humans.
More or less. Now, I've seen some decent merges, don't get me wrong. And yes, they were the sort of merges that did regulate both the UNSC and the Covenant into a single spiral arm, which was inexplicably cut off from the rest of the galaxy behind Relay 314, even though that's not how Mass Effect relays work. But the problem with that whole sort of thing is that the Reapers come around every 50k years to wipe out all the species in the galaxy. And the problem with that is that the humans and the Covenant and other species that, flood adjacent and whatnot, all, have lived for longer than 50,000 years. And I feel like the Flood would not get on with the Reapers all that great.
I mean, they look kind of similar-ish, except on different sizes.
Well, no, because the thing is, the Reapers annihilate life, and the Flood like to eat that life.
Eat, yeah.
And while a planet's great and all, like an uninhabited planet's great and all, it's not exactly the nourishment the Flood is gunning for. And so, spacefaring species happen to be the nourishment the Flood is gunning for. And the Reapers kill them all. And they also kill anything with the intelligence of a spacefaring species, which happens to also be the Flood, once they reach a certain size. And the Flood can infest anything, including Reapers.
And the Gravemind has been shown to be intelligent enough to fuck with AIs.
Yes. Literally digital investment.
It's like a partnership from hell.
Yeah, well, the thing is they wouldn't be partners. They'd be on opposite sides. They certainly wouldn't be on humanity's side, but they would certainly be on opposite sides.
The Gravemind has shown the ability to be practical.
It's like the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, but he might attack me a little bit less for the duration.
I will not actively backstab him.
Yet. Did I miss anything? Oh wait, this is fixed 9K. Of course I didn't. Well, we covered a whole story.
Well, we covered a chapter of a story.
That's it. But no, the other main problems here is that while the idea of a merge universe between Mass Effect and Halo, where humanity isn't a fucking little cowardly bitch, fuck you, writers of Mass Effect. While it's nice and all, the universe is fairly unbalanced in terms of technology, and unbalanced in terms of cultural interaction. You're removing the Covenant Because Covenant, hostile alien group, Council, hostile alien group, effectively useless, should I say, alien group, and then the humans, and it's not really. The problem is if you have the Covenant and the Citadel Council in the same galaxy, the Covenant is going to demand that the Citadel Council surrender to them and be assimilated into the Covenant before.
And also turn over all your Forerunner technology, because clearly that's clearly what the Citadel is. It can only be a giant piece of Forerunner tech if you're merging
Obviously.
universes.
Amusingly enough, Forerunner tech is human made.
Yes.
I don't know how to
We know.
feel about that change. I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, no, okay. From what I understand, now granted, this is all based off books that came up before Halo 4. The humans and Forerunners were completely separate races. The humans were super advanced, and they got into a pissing match with the Forerunners.
Right.
The only reason the humans lost was because they were fighting the Flood at the same time.
Right. Yep. And then the Forerunners were like, ah, shit. And then
well, no, humanity's last fuck you was to go, ha ha, have fun dealing with the Flood, bitch.
Right.
And the Forerunners went, oh shit.
Flood and Reapers clashing would be the equivalent of the Eldrazi and Phyrexians going at it. Yeah, basically.
Only here's the
Whoever
problem.
wins, we're still fucked.
Well, no. The Reapers winning wouldn't be that big of a deal. Like, the Reapers won't get any more dangerous. Also, more importantly, the Flood can't fight the like, they can infect anything, but you can't infect a Reaper. It's all mechanical. There's nothing to infect.
You can't read the infector.
Now, if the Gravemind had a lot of time on its hand, maybe it could mess with a Reaper enough.
I don't know. They could probably get shit.
I mean, they might be able to fill a Reaper with Flood Spores, but they can't make the Reaper do its bidding.
No, but the Flood was able to hijack High Charity by filling it with Flood Spores.
But that had to do with hijacking the people.
No, like, it hijacked the systems of High Charity. Like, the Gravemind was able to hijack the warp drive or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, no, but that was the Gravemind using physical bits of the Gravemind to interact with physical control surfaces. The Reaper doesn't have any of that. It would have to have people inside the Reaper to create a digital interface.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
To then begin hacking the Reaper.
I've read this fic almost fully. It's not exactly like that. As that's what Oraking says. It's just I don't like Mass Effect Halo merge universes.
It just doesn't work.
I have liked quite a few. The Fighting Spirit, I think it was called. It was quite a good one. Is where George setting off the slip space bomb ends up zoinking into Mass Effect.
Oh, good for George.
Yeah, and I was like, alright, I like that. Because it's not a merge. It's literally we oopsied you into a different reality. Fair enough. That is a situation that I will buy. Slip space bombs are a shrug of the shoulders, or
even just the Chief drifting for, couple thousand years, slipping by the Reapers.
True. Yeah. I want to do something productive. Someone ping me when these chucklefucks ever get past their sci-fi wank. Fine, we'll ping you.
Oh.
In theory, flood spores could mess with circuitry that ruins a Reaper, and the Gravemind could then control it. I mean, yeah, I guess suppose.
But it, as has been actively shown, Reapers have a lot of internal defenses.
Oh, you gotta keep in mind though, all the husks and shit are still partially organic.
Oh, that wasn't what I was talking about. Like, it's shown they have ample automated defenses on the inside.
I know,
And-
but what I'm saying though is there's still the bodies that Reapers would deploy against the Flood, maybe at least initially,
Well, yeah, sure.
could be
But-
used.
Like, and this is something that always bothered me. At no point in thousands of years of evolution did the Reapers ever go, hey guys, what if we just made it super hot everywhere that wasn't the core of the ship?
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Like, I get the Flood are tough, but like, and they can ignore a lot, but if the flesh is cooking off of them the second they step in,
yeah. Well, the thing is that fungus, mushrooms, you know, those sections of growth, which is what the Flood is. They don't react well to heat usually. Most species do not react well to heat because their water retention is very high. And say what you will about the Flood, but Bungie did seemingly try to at least
add some level of physics to them.
yeah, and sort of like how combat forms would degrade over time and either turn into carrier forms or just more infection mass that would, you know, grow on the ground.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing. So it's it's debatable. But
And how if a combat form had its carrier host killed, but it wasn't actually super messed up, the Flood would just go, just gonna hop back in.
Yeah. You mean infection form, but yeah, no, I know what you mean. But no, it's just Halo Mass Effect crossover is just a merge universe is the most common I've seen, and they're never good. Oh, no, okay, maybe not never good. I've seen a couple that have been interestingly written and had some good space battles going on in it, but they're all dead. And the reason why they're all dead is because functionally they don't work. Earth the King wrote a Mass Effect Halo crossover, and it was a merged universe. And what he had to do was he had to write effectively a 10-book series to merge the universe.
Holy.
Yeah, it was like it ended up being like 1.2 million words long, and it's completed, by the way. Art the King is a very interesting writer. He also wrote a Fallout Mass Effect merge. That was also very good. From the Ashes, I think it's called. I think that's still ongoing though. Also very long. Very very good writer now. His original stuff was pretty garbage, but he went back and was
I
like,
mean,
okay.
you write 10 books worth of crap, you better get better at writing.
But no, a lot of original content, a lot of consistency. I definitely hand it to him in terms of the fan fiction crown. But no one else is Earth Decay. You know, a lot of the stories I see, well, the Mass Effect Halo section crossovers, is they usually die, maybe 30, 60k words in, especially when it's a merge universe, because specifically it's, okay, so I had that one cool space battle that was in my mind, and now how do I write the rest of the story? And then that's where it stops, because they don't know how to write the rest of the story, because all they had in their mind was that one cool space battle where human UNSC totally wrecks Mass Effect races because, lol, we shoot tungsten rods the size of a fucking bus. But yeah, so let's get on to this story and see where this takes us. Probably going to just accelerate through this because I'm not overly invested in a Mass Effect Halo story these days. It just really isn't that interesting anymore. exasperated sigh of someone who had reached
I
their
would say,
daily limit of stress.
at least Star Wars takes place in a galaxy far, far, like, bullshit aside, Star Wars is
Yeah.
not the Milky Way. It's
Right.
not. It's never been the Milky Way. It will never be the Milky Way.
Right.
So you can at least have it be. I would say, you know, you want to put an interesting twist on it. Have the thing the Yuzon Vong was running away from be the Reapers.
That could be something.
I was gonna say, then you could get a three-way between the Vong, the Galaxy, and the Reapers.
That moment when the fanatical purifiers declare war on the galaxy, but also the Unbidden invade.
Yeah. See, here's the thing, right? I would love to see a Reaper pop into real space, just pop in front of the Executor. Bwop.
Yeet.
A human. There's a human vessel in front of us. Boom.
Yeah,
That or Sneaky Death Star 2. A Death Star 3 Reaper Boogaloo.
Death Star 3 Reaper Boogaloo. Oh god. Anyway, so pinching the bridge of her nose, you said there was an urgent message. Yes, Commander, replied the human, peering curiously at the console in front of her. It appears there was a delay in the system. It just arrived. Console flagged it. Odd. Great. Well, obviously that can't wait. Hit me. Don't worry, Shepard. It's not the elusive man. She blinked in surprise. An urgent message that wasn't from her benefactor. Okay, I'll give them points for this. The narrative so far is at least consistently, like, good.
Yes. No grammar problems to speak of.
Yeah, no spelling issues. Anyway, Eclipse, blah blah blah, adjust the car. Yes, he learned his lesson last time. What do we have? Running errands, system alliance. You tired of spending your credits, blah blah blah. Delete button, let's pretend that never happened. Yes, I should clear your inbox more often, Shepard. This is the urgent message. It looks like the urgent elusive man wants to speak to you. Oh wow. Ha ha ha. They thought an urgent message was actually a spam. Oh, my sides. I'm laughing so hard.
It's so funny I forgot to laugh.
Yep, nailed it. I'm on it. Good luck, Shepard. Elusive man. Alright, so it's time for some Ryugi tier narrative where the character talks about how much they hate the elusive man in the narrative. Blah blah blah. Shepard. Well, hey Tim, what's up? Something came up, something big, spam in my inbox, and more specific. Very well, we've located a derelict vessel our teams have been searching for. You do remember the derelict? We spoke about it. Yeah, it must have spaced out. Can you tell me about it again? Okay, you know what? I'll give the author credit here about not just straight out just telling the audience about shit that the characters already know, but having the character be like, "Oh, yes, I remember it, but could you tell me more about it?" Even though
Well, I
I
was gonna
should
say,
know it.
that's something Shepard's done from time to time. Shepard, you know about this. Yeah,
No.
totally, but could you refresh my memory just to be on the safe side?
I mean, like in the games, yes, but not as like a narrative sense. That's more there for the players to be like, "Hey, players, remember that thing we told you about that you probably don't give a shit about?" I'm not gonna. What I'm saying is that I don't take literally every dialogue as canon as what Shepard would do.
I'm not saying all of it is, but I'm saying there's precedent for an absent-minded Shepard.
I suppose, but I still find it a little bit cringy of like, "Hey, I do not remember the thing we were talking about. Can you tell me about it again?" Just being the means, and not so much as a means of like character display, of like, oh, this is what Shepard's like, but more of as a means of being like, this is what the plot is, guys. I'm telling you to this way, so it doesn't look like I'm just info dumping you. You're still info dumping us.
Yeah, okay, but there's only so much people can do.
Yeah, I get that, but however, it's a merged universe, and he's at fault for that. Like, this is why Earth the King's story worked, because Earth the King's story started from before Mass Effect even began. Like, it started wicked early, just so he could precisely document and explain how this alternative universe functions. In a way that wasn't just like, hey, we're going to skip like 17 years into the future. This is how the universe functions. Like, no. And so, again, the problem here is that this is supposed to be taking place during Mass Effect 2. However, it is a Mass Effect 2 universe in which the UNSC and Covenant possibly exist. Covenant's impossible. The UNSC existed instead of the Systems Alliance. This is a merged universe.
Yes.
We don't know whether the UNSC replaced the System Alliance, actually. I will rescind that my previous statement. We don't know if they've been replaced or if it's just two different branches of humanity. We have we do know they existed because Master Chief is part of the UNSC. What we don't know is if the UNSC replaced Systems Alliance or the UNSC were a different faction of humanity that started on a different arm of the Milky Way that then eventually made contact with the Systems Alliance and the Council. The reason why this is a problem, and this is why you gotta tell us this sort of shit before you go into a fusion world like this, is because this will drastically affect my opinion on how well you're writing the characters. Because, obviously, in a simple crossover story, Familiar, Zero, Worm, etc., for example, where a single crossover convergence happens of, say, either powers or a person, I can then go, yes, this is how X character would act in X situation, or believably, this is how X character would act in X situation. But the problem is, in a merged universe, where possibly either the Systems Alliance has been replaced, or the UNSC is a separate entity, the problem there is that everyone will be significantly different in how they react to things. How the Systems Alliance would react to finding human tech that isn't theirs in the Terminus system, for example, is going to be a radically different opinion of, oh wow, we've never seen this tech before, let's investigate it, to, oh wow, this is UNSC tech, maybe we shouldn't piss off the really angry humans.
Yeah, what was you say? And it also, whether or not that's the case, drastically affects the human racism and whether or not it's racism or
is it
you know, if the UNSC's out there being if the UNSC's out there being
warmongers,
fuck aliens, suck my dick.
Yeah.
Then
sure.
boy,
Aura, go for it. Give us the deets, Aura, and we'll form our opinions. But this is the thing, though, is we're in the first chapter, and you're supposed to sort of explain this sort of shit to us before we even get into the plot, because you have to set up the audience to know where they're supposed to set their expectations and where you're coming from with that. Because if you pull out some sort of blind side of like, and then fucking Master Chief kicks the door down while Shepard's talking with Tim and goes, Shepard, we have a problem. The audience has to know whether to expect that or not. Is Master Chief always on Shepard's team? Or is this a new development? Is this
some kind of joint exercise?
You want me to join voice chat to explain? I don't know. Do we want Aura to join the voice chat to explain?
I don't know. We've already had a lot of guys in here. We have to get some tits in there, balance it out.
Aura ain't no girl, but okay. Aura, you're either fat or a girl. Get in here. Join General.
I was trying to make a sarcastic joke. Now you've insulted the poor man.
Yeah, just hop in the general and we'll drag you down.
Oh,
What? How?
Fucking retard.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a while, but from this is like you don't find this shit out till like way later in the fic.
that's what we were
So
afraid of.
Yeah.
it might just already turn you away.
Yep. No,
But apparently,
absolutely.
like the Halo verse,
Mhm.
all the shit that happened is like its own separate, like I guess you could say, system. It just pretty much exists at the same time.
So I
guess
was right
later.
in saying it's basically a different arm of the galaxy that was separated.
Yes, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. That's dumb.
Well, I would just say, I mean, there's also, based on what you said, is it like a dimension hopping thing?
No, from what he said, it's like, so there's 8 arms. The UNSC was in one of them, and later on they made contact with the Systems Alliance.
Okay, but then
Not
what about?
exactly.
I would just say, but then what
kinda like
about
that.
Earth?
There's 2 Earths.
There's basically 2 Earths, you could say. Like the Halo, I'll say the Halo verse is its own separate like Milky Way or whatever, and the Mass Effect Earth is its own thing. They
Yeah, but
pretty
that's
much
what I'm saying.
existed
Like,
separately.
that's even dumber. Like,
Yeah.
at least if it was at least if it was like alternate dimensions, I'd be like, okay, that's how you have 2 Earths.
At least, like this is how I pretty much like how I'm understanding the fic from when I read further. I've read most of the story,
Right.
and from that's how I'm understanding it. It's they're basically existing at on separate like arms, as Sneaky said it.
Right.
Yeah, so
Which is
that's just
its own level of
that's
stupid.
just dumb. That's so dumb. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand. Like, if this story was a one shot or some sort of cracky-ish fic, no, clearly it is neither. If it was either of those, I could understand. Just having like the whole Systems Alliance meets the UNSC and everyone is shock face moment. I get that. Don't get me wrong. Funny moment. Absolutely hilarious. I've seen a couple of those. Specifically one shots and crap. Where it is funny as hell. And everyone's just like, what the shit? That's great. That's funny. It's fantastic. That is not a good premise for a continued story. Like, we are 4.5 books in, hypothetically, to this fanfiction here. And your premise of the story is that 2 arms of humanity both had the exact same planet with the exact same history on it, but then at some point in time diverged by the UNSC humanity is quite a bit ahead of time the Systems Alliance, and then they suddenly met later on. Is it post Covenant? Does Covenant exist at all, or is it just the UNSC?
Okay, I just want to say this: like, it doesn't happen where they just meet each other like straight up, like you were saying. Like, this is like you only find out that it's the same. It's their own arm later in the fic. Like, it's not some simple like peaceful. Oh, we meet other humanity kind of thing. Like, it's been a while since I've read some of the older chapters, but apparently like the Covenant attacks, like Citadels or some Alliance place, I believe. And then the UNFC appears, I believe. It's been a while.
Yeah,
but...
well, I was gonna say, but here's the other thing.
Yeah.
The problem with the human Covenant war is the reason the humans were losing was we have mass drivers and no shields.
Mm-hmm.
They have plasma and can laugh at us.
Yeah.
Even just giving every UNSC cruiser shields.
I mean, even then,
drastically changes the entire thing.
Well, I mean, no, even then, it literally the problem was for the Covenant. It was literally just a grind. They had the superior military might, but humans were just so both spread out, and our ships were actually fairly resilient. Like, yes, they could kill them, but they still had casualties compared to humanity.
Yes, and the issue was inferior manufacturing capacity.
Yeah, and the
Because
humans
most of
just
humanity's
kept churning
shipyards
out
were
more.
centralized.
Yeah, and the humans just kept churning out more and more and more. Even the fall of Reach didn't really even spell the end for humanity.
Well, and bear in mind, taking Reach was a week-long effort.
Yeah.
And the space battle didn't stop until day, like, what, 5?
It was a significant period of time, and the casualties were massive on both sides.
Yeah, but anyway, my point is, as soon as a bunch of aliens that aren't murder hobos enter the equation, the Covenant's screwed.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Like, all of it, like, even if it was just the Turians with, railguns, just like humanity.
To be fair, most of it was Chief. Well,
I know, but I'm just saying,
no,
the Turians just showing up, suddenly the Covenant have a problem.
The Covenant losing was the Chief. Yes, that is factual. However, you do have to keep in mind that I never said that humanity was going to win versus the Covenant. Just that it was a Pyrrhic victory in the process for the Covenant. And even the Covenant, if you've read the books, knew that. They knew every single battle was going to grind down their forces more and more.
Because humans are basically cockroaches that do not know when to give up.
Basically.
But more importantly, every time they killed a Covenant ship, that was nigh on irreplaceable, because all of their stuff was pilfered Forerunner stuff, and they didn't have a lot of ways to make it. And so when things like the Spartan 3s came around, and it's like, oh, they blew up a ship manufacturing facility, it wasn't just like inconvenient. Like, for humanity, getting a shipyard facility wrecked or destroyed was inconvenient. For the Covenant, it was literally crippling. Because
not only that, they also did
this.
They also did commit large portions of their fleets to the various halos that Chief then did blow up. And
yes.
Like I said, yes, the reason why humanity won in the end was specifically because of that specific event where they committed these large fleets to the halos, which got annihilated when Chief blew them up. So yes, Chief was a large portion of the reason why humanity won.
Well, no, those fleets don't matter, because those fleets were never in the equation. The Covenant was unwilling to move them from the halos.
No, that's fair.
Now, not saying that blowing them up wasn't a problem for the Covenant, but what ultimately led to the Covenant losing was them backstabbing the elites. Which was going to happen regardless of the Chief's intervention.
Yeah, because they were moving to replace the elites over time anyway.
Yeah. It's just that what the Chief did accelerated it, but it still probably would have happened mid-war. And then the humans would have gone to the elites and been like, hey, so we hear the Covenant kind of dicked you over. Want to help dick them back?
Well, that's basically what happened.
Yes, I'm saying that course of events would have still happened, which suddenly everything goes in humanity's favor now.
Yeah. But, yeah, it just... This is why I don't like Fusion Fix. Very rarely do Fusion Fix work out. And, like I said, I've seen a couple of good crossovers. Like the Infinity, while yeeting another ship in slip space, accidentally is into Mass Effect. Okay, fair enough.
I was going to say, as we saw with Forerunner technology, they could do crazy stuff with slip space, up to and including sending people to places.
Well, I mean, Cortana sent herself several hundred years back in time, not even intentionally.
Wait, when did she do that?
Remember when she sent out the beacon into slip space that wasn't
right?
Slip space
Yes,
capable?
And then all the Covenant AIs were based off her.
Yeah, and the Covenant found her for like 500 years previously, and then replicated her constantly to manage their ship's AI. Yeah.
Even though she was sorely, sorely degraded by that point, and then the constant replication just made her a gibbering moron.
Yeah.
To the point where you needed one copy for a door.
But, Point being is that she sent herself back in time on a completely human technology level, accidentally, not even trying to.
Because they just had a Forerunner slip space crystal.
Yeah, and it was just like, oh, that was weird. Oops. But it's the sort of thing where it's just like that's believable. That can be usable. You can work with that, and you can even have like the moments of UNSC meets the Systems Alliance, where it's just like the UNSC is now completely cut off from the UNSC, but they got some dope ships that can shrug off Mass Effect rounds.
Mm-hmm.
First Strike was weird, but it had Johnson, so therefore it's great. This is a factual statement.
I mean, First Strike really wasn't that weird.
No?
I didn't think it was that weird. I mean, yeah, it was kind of weird, but they had to yada yada away for the chief to get home. That book had to be weird.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. But anyway,
remember, Halo 2, Halo 1 ends, Chief in Longsword. Halo 2 just starts with the Chief being home getting a fucking medal. How did the Chief get home?
do I have to do this? Yes.
I'm coming into here just because I need to debate this.
Okay.
First Strike had like a bunch of weird shit in it, and like no even.
I didn't say it didn't.
Well, it was just like, okay, first of all, we had the like unyielding elephant or whatever the fuck it was.
Hierophant.
The unyielding Hierophant. Yeah, sorry.
Unyielding
Fucking
elephant.
Johnson. No, that's what Johnson called it. Now I remember.
Yeah.
He called it like the unyielding. He's like unyielding elephant. What the fuck? But yeah, it was just First Strike was just. It also introduced. Actually, no. You know what? First Strike introduced Blue Team, which I guess was
like
important.
For as much weird stuff as it put in, it also gave us amazing stuff like Blue Team and a decent explanation for why Johnson couldn't be eaten by the Flood.
It was because of the plasma grenades, right? I don't know if
No. Plasma grenades was the official
but he was
UNSC line. It's because he was part of the Spartan 1 program.
I am so mad we don't see anything else of the Spartan 1s except for Johnson.
Well,
like, I understand
the
why.
Spartan 1s weren't anything special.
Well, no, they were a little special. They were basically like Spec Ops. They were basically they were ODST 1.5, basically.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you don't see anything about them, because they were just slightly angrier ODSTs.
Where's my game starring that? I want that now.
Slightly. That's the title of it. Halo, slightly angrier ODSTs.
Just give us a game of Johnson trying to escape Halo. It's like Halo. It's like Halo Blue Shift, basically.
Just
basically
ODST 2, slightly angrier.
Oh my god, man! I would love another ODST game where, remember, where you spend the first 10 minutes going, right? I'm not the Master Chief. I'm a weak little bitch.
Gets instantly yeeted by one attack. Right.
That face when you get one shot by a brute on Legendary, and you're just like, oh,
right. Where
okay.
Plasma Pistol goes from, boy, it's nice to be able to kill them with one shot, to, I need every Plasma Pistol on the map.
Where you go mugging grunts with their pistols.
Which, honestly, that's probably my favorite part of the entire game, where it's like, why did the elites suddenly start losing to all the humans? Because they learned about the combo.
The combo.
I'm gonna be a little annoyed if the combo gets nerfed to the point where the plasma shot doesn't home anymore in the PC version.
Get wrecked. Anyway,
why would they do that?
Because you're on PC, you're supposed to be able to aim. Like, they're removing like a lot of auto aim, dude.
I mean, for most of that stuff, that's fine. Obviously, stuff like the Needler, it shouldn't.
Well, obviously.
But right, yes. back
Moving
to
on.
the important stuff.
Yes. Back to the important stuff of this garbage.
Where's John? It's literally what everyone who's actually looking forward to this is fucking looking at.
Anyway. So, blah, blah, blah words. Shepard, go investigate this. It's not in the council stuff. Blah, blah word stuff.
Yes.
I'll tell you more things later at a more plot-relevant time. Goodbye. And so they're flying around and blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. The lore explanation of what's gone on so far in Mass Effect 2. Blah, 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 blah. Canon stuff. Blah, blah. Ash, go fuck yourself. Operation, this gonna suck. Ha, 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 ha. Wow, author, you are so funny.
To be fair, that's definitely something some of the Mass Effect crew would name something.
Okay, yes. But, however, the author has not at any point in time established the personality of Shepard beyond, oh boy, I sure hate the elusive man.
No, I mean, it's the source material, dude. It's fanfiction. You have to understand that sometimes the source material.
Okay, but you have to establish the personality of the self-insert, and I call it the self-insert because Shepard's the customizable be anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have to, because there are three Shepard paths. There's lol so random Shepard. There's serious Shepard. I'm sorry. There's not lol so random. There's Dick Shepard. There's Saint Shepard, and then there's normal Shepard.
Most people play in between, or they just go both ways. Usually people go Dick, though.
I mean, that's the most satisfying one.
Yes. Because
Anyway.
if you go Paragon, you are not allowed to punch a journalist.
Everyone knows Renegade is the
Richly
most
deserved.
amusing. Anyway, so Operation This Gonna Suck the Suicide Mission to Electric Boogaloo. Small grin, the commander fell asleep to dulcet tones of fuck yourself. We've reached the Titan Nebula, blah blah, the crew got ready, blah blah Saren, blah blah Tally, Cerberus. They're working for me. Oh, really? Then you ordered the bugs and microphones? I love when authors try to sound like they know what they're talking about and then proceed to fucking just tap themselves in the head in front of everyone. Bugs, author, are microphones.
What?
It's like... That's like you going into the forest, oh wow, there's so much trees and wood around here. It's like, yeah, that's what trees are made out of, wood. Dumbass.
Say, the only time that's an acceptable thing to say is if there's cut wood and trees.
Well, yeah. That's
That's
like
the
a
only time.
lumber mill, though. But yeah, there's so many bugs and microphones. Yeah, what do you think a bug is, dumbass?
Well, I mean, Tali might not know what a bug is.
The Quarian
What
does
did you
not
just say?
know what a bug is.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of something else. Continue.
Grunt?
I was thinking of something else. Continue.
Hey guys, the tech freak doesn't know what a bug is.
I meant physical bug, number one. Number two, I was thinking of something else. Fuck off.
Of
Anyway.
course she's gonna know what the... They know
Oh
what
yeah,
bugs...
yeah, no, Tally just goes up to Shepard. So Shepard, there's a lot of fucking roaches on this ship.
I said I was thinking of something else. Continue onwards, please.
No, we're not finished laughing at you.
Even Max is laughing at you.
I'm just bored out of my skull because I know nothing about Mass Effect and Halo.
Really?
What?
Really?
Everything I know is stuff I've talked about with you guys. I've never played through any of the Halo games. My biggest experience in Halo is running a modded demo multiplayer map in high school because I found grappling gun mods.
I still remember someone invited me to a modded game in Halo 2 where the plasma pistol full charge shot warthogs at people.
That was so stupid.
And I was just like, for what?
That definitely sounds like a fun custom
I think
game.
my
Where's that
personal
game?
favorite was I found a tank. I found the Scorpion tank that fired Scorpion tanks because that was necessary.
Yes.
The needler shot wraiths. That was great.
God damn,
My personal favorite was it was back in Halo 1 when because it turns out the battle rifle was supposed to be in Halo 1 and it had a grenade launcher. So someone just put that in.
It just had, oh yeah, no, I remember hearing about this. It had like an underslung, but they decided not to put it in because it messed with the weapon sandbox.
It messed with the encounter balance, and I was like, who cares? This thing is fun.
And also, the pistol exists.
Anyway, so Miranda.
Otacon. Sorry. Literally just fucking.
We're going to ignore that.
Where's that Solid Snake in Mass Effect? Thick.
It doesn't
Where's
exist. Miranda.
Once again, still the worst person.
A piece of expensive hardware. Does Solarian find it? What's your piece of expensive hardware doing in engineering? What's it doing on my ship? Safety measures. We can't be too careful. Safety measures? Buy a goddamn condom instead.
What the fuck?
I don't want you listening in on the team.
Why? What? God fucking damn it, Arn.
God damn it, Arm. I'm not reading that out loud, but I'm just still gonna laugh
I'll
at
do
it.
it. I'll do
No,
it.
I'm gonna mute you
No.
permanently.
Fine, I won't.
Good. How's your sis doing? It's great. Miranda, I'm gonna hold your sister hostage if you don't get rid of these bugs. Let's see. Words and stuff. Loyalty mission finished. Words and stuff. Commander, I have to give it to Cerberus. Finding a wreck in the middle of the war-torn, pirate-infested wasteland? That's a rare find. Okay, wow. I'm actually gonna give it that to you, author. Well done. You made Joker actually funny.
Yep.
It's not that simple.
I'll give him that. That's something most of these fucking morons can't manage.
Yeah, I know, right? They wouldn't know humor unless it punched them in the face and told them it was humor.
Which, to be fair, that's half of what Joker does.
Fair enough. It's a magical derelict because it doesn't match any ships. See, now all I can imagine is Shepard finding Kaleido Stick Ruby and turning into magical girl Shepard-chan.
I'm gonna have to commission somebody for that now.
Fighting
Delete
the Reapers.
These mind images immediately.
Fighting the Reapers in the name of love and justice.
Delete these mind images immediately.
Friendship beam.
Stop.
You get the attempts to convince Sarah not to be an asshole actually work.
Friendship beam. Orbital friendship cannon.
Although, boy, see, now I also want there to be the scene where Shepard turns into a magical girl and everybody goes, "What is that?" And Miranda's like, "Oh, he's a magical girl."
He's a magical girl. Yes,
and
he's
all
a
the heads just turn.
Everyone snaps their neck voluntarily and dies.
Better yet, it's Jack that knows.
Grunt. Just fucking Rex just slowly puts a gun to his head.
Fucking Rex just put the shotgun in his mouth.
Bam! Damn it, my second brain is still working.
I can fix that! Friendship theme! No!
Rex allows himself to live for another pitiful few days while he curses existence.
Magical Girl Rex-chan.
Stop.
Magical Girl Rex shot. Literally
Stop.
nothing has changed except
Stop.
Rex is now wearing a tutu.
Jeez.
He's wearing a tutu and a bow.
Why am I now imagining the heavy
And the
weapons
bow
guy?
is actually just glued to his crest.
Of
It's
course.
this is just the heavy weapons guy fucking costume from the fucking Halloween shit. The fuck.
Nuclear annihilation is too good.
Heavy is wish making fairy.
Exactly.
Make wish.
For Tally, she just puts the bow on the top of the helmet.
I was gonna say it.
Wouldn't Tally really be into that though? She'd be just like, I want to be a magical girl or something bullshit like that.
Tally finds wand. I can turn you into a magical girl. What?
What's
You
a
now-
magical
you have now
girl?
made me- You have now made me picture Kyuubi in Mass Effect, and I want these mind images removed immediately.
Hey, dude, it's not as bad as that one Naruto fic that I found, where the Kyuubi.
No, because now I imagine the Reapers as the fucking witches.
Where the Kyuubi.
Actually, no, that would be awesome. Where the fuck is that?
Where the Kyuubi was the 9-brained demon fox. Yes, you heard me. The 9-brained demon fox. And because he was sealed into Naruto, he becomes super strong and smart. Also harem.
Meanwhile, I'll just be over here commissioning Magical Girl Shepherd John.
You do that. Anyway, so we do the most logical thing we can think of and insert a small 3-man team into it. Shepard, what happened last times?
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
So we do the most logical thing we can think of and insert a small 3-man team into it. Shepard, what happened the last time we
Okay, sorry, you spoke so fast last time, it sounded like you said insert a 3-man team into Shepard, and I was like, when did this become the Magic School Bus?
I was gonna say hentai, but yeah, that works. That's much more PG.
I guess you could say Shepard got triple teamed. And I'll just...
I was about to do it too.
I was about to disconnect. That was the best part. Let me just get my Carlos picture.
Anyway, so we got ambushed, jumped by a dozen enemies, and time before that, we got ambushed, jumped by a dozen enemies, and the list goes on. Don't you want to do something else instead? Oh wow! Oh wow! We're gonna meta break, guys. We're breaking the meta with meta knowledge of meta.
Just use the black hole gun every single time.
Honestly.
Well, no, but I mean, here's the thing. It's not completely illogical for one of Shepard's companions, and even at some points in Mass Effect 3, they do joke about this, about Shepard. Every time you go anywhere, you get fucking ambushed.
Yeah, but it's just... the whole 3-man team meme, like, you don't need to keep that. Like, it's your AU. This is like one of those instances where you can just be like, fuck game mechanics, this is my...
Well, no, see, the DM will get angry if you go in more than 3-man teams.
I would say, that was actually one of the things I really appreciated about Delvaro, besides excellent writing, was Shepard just brought everyone all the time, because why the fuck wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the sort of... And on top of that, he even managed it well by having them break into teams and give them different objectives. But the thing is like, that's a game mechanic sort of thing. And it is one of those few instances that, Max and I had experience with this, where we looked at something, we had to objectively say whether it was canon, sort of like lore shit, or if this was just a game mechanic. And
couldn't they make it so you could just fight more enemies if you had more party members? I know they did that for difficulties.
Yeah, but see, that would require good game design, which...
Yeah, that would require, like,
to
actual
anyone who likes
quality
playing games on hard difficulties, don't bother with Mass Effect, because it's the shittiest, lamest kind of difficulty.
Mass Effect 1. Mass Effect 1 in a nutshell is, play the game as engineer on the easiest difficulty. Unlock shields, play soldier, win game. Doesn't matter what the difficulty is. Soldier with engineer shield boost, you have literally more health than your car.
Yeah.
At that point, you are the car.
I would say, you can get almost the same amount of health by just playing an infiltrator. Only
and then,
you also
on
get.
top of that, because you previously beat the game, you unlock a whole bunch of bonuses, which I absolutely love that old style of like, oh, you've beaten the game, now you can do New Game Plus, or you can do New Game but still have shit unlocked. And I thought that was cool and nice, and it's like,
Shepard, where's our car? I am the car.
Yeah. But anyway,
proceeds to carry everyone around the moon because that
Spectre
drives
gear,
fucking better.
Spectre gear, Soldier Shepard with the engineering shield skill was basically unkillable. And then all you did was you got the assault rifle, you put the frictionless materials in it, and then you picked your modification of choice, whether you wanted it to be poison or cold or whatever. And you just held down the fire button. It doesn't matter anymore. Because the
Why would you ever put on poison?
No, because it doesn't fucking matter anymore. Literally, the Spectre gear with frictionless materials on it, the assault
Never
rifle
overheats.
as a soldier, never heats. You cannot fire fast enough to overheat the assault rifle. And so you just hold down the fire. It doesn't even matter if there's anyone near you. You just hold down the fire button because it doesn't matter.
I think someone did I think someone did a test where they were like, okay, how much do I have to up the attack speed of this thing for it to overheat? The answer was like, I think it was like 30 times its normal fire rate for it to start building heat.
Yeah, no, like don't get me wrong. The standard Spectre assault rifle does overheat. But once you put frictionless materials and modifications into it, it's just like it doesn't overheat anymore. There's literally no other way to play Mass Effect 1. And Mass Effect 2 was also super easy. All you did was you played Bionic and then just everything dies. Or you played Engineer and then everything dies plus Ultra. And then Mass Effect 3 was you played Infiltrator and everything dies plus Ultra 2.
Well, see, here's the thing. That's what happened, because I just played Infiltrator the entire time because I thought it was fun. There was nothing more fun to me than playing Mass Effect 2 and hearing assuming direct control. Boop!
Yeah.
Assume control of that.
Especially Mass Effect 3, where you got the stronger sniper rifles, the 50 calibers or whatever they're called, like 50 cal equivalents. And
you got a 50 cal. No, because they just give you the Black Widow, which you got.
That's
That
what
was
I'm
the
saying.
big gun.
That's what I'm saying. And you infiltrated and you went the damage bonus route and you did like plus 500% damage. It doesn't matter what it was. You shoot her at the Black Widow while you're coming out of infiltration mode. It's dead. And then you go back in infiltration mode.
Yeah.
It's literally easiest game ever, 2019.
Extremely loud French snorting.
But anyway. Authors being cheeky with meta. Well, why don't we ambush them? And blah blah blah. Commander, Cerberus, Wreck, blah blah. Blah 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 blah. One derelict. They said they didn't know what that ship was. Take a look. That's an Asari frigate, and all of its unfortunate glory. It's not very derelict, is it? Scans indicate 2 vessels, 1 low tonnage Asari frigate, 1 unknown vessel, higher tonnage than Asari ship. Our magical derelict. What's the visual contact? One moment, Edie. Where's the second half of that ship? Several decks were visible. Giant, fucking beam laser. Looks like the collectors were here. That's a clean cut. Yeah, but look at the size of that thing. It's freaking huge.
Okay, but why would they be asking that kind of question? Like, it's a derelict. Why would he be going, where's the other half of the ship? Like, just go, oh, half the ship's gone.
Yeah, and honestly, that's actually a fair point. It's a derelict ship of unknown make. It's like, half the ship's gone. That's kind of expected at this point when it's a derelict ship never before seen.
It's a derelict that no one has any idea what it is, and it's ever been seen before. Where's the other half?
It's probably gone. Anyway,
I don't know. Maybe it's with the part that got derelicted.
The ship is super odd. You see, because it was completely alien to Shepard. They had never seen such a utilitarian design before.
Yes, they have. What? The entire reason a bunch of people hated the Normandy was because it has a bunch of these weird alien curves, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
Why did
That's
people hate
literally a thing from Mass Effect 1 where everybody goes, what's up with this funky alien design?
Curves are weird, man. We go blocks or nothing.
Like, and everybody goes, oh man, human ships are cool, are fine and all, but man, y'all just build with blocks and gunmetal gray. Do you have anything else?
Do not insult our blocks.
Do not insult our blocks or Gray-chan.
Anyway. Shepard had never seen a utilitarian ship design before. Did you hail the derelict frigate? Yup, but they didn't answer. Blah blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah. Commander Shepard, under attack, unknown hostile, need assistance. Edie, can you filter that one? Negative. The issue lies with the Asari vessel. Edie, can you filter that and enhance? Just, God, as someone who took a class and is certified as a radio technician, the whole CSI filter and enhance
okay,
meme.
but Sneaky, at least this author had it. At least this author was like, "No, I can't. Fuck you."
I know, but still, it's just like it's just a NAM flashback moment. Just enlarge the image and enhance it. Duh. It's like, fuck you. That's not how that works.
Like every time I see someone going, "Oh, yeah, just enhance just zoom that computer image in more, zoom it in more, enhance it so we can see it."
Yes.
Can't see shit,
we
Captain.
can see the reflection in his eyes is actually his victim, and therefore we know he killed the victim that we have been investigating.
Meanwhile, I'm like, what kind of 16 billion by 16 billion image do you have that still manages to look grainier than my grandmother's glasses?
To be fair, there is actually a camera that is commercially available at a reasonable price that can in fact take like a 32 gigapixel image, and you can in fact enhance it quite a bit while still keeping the quality, because the pixel rate on it is absurd.
Okay.
However, you will not find that in camera phones. You will not find that in security cameras. You will not find that in dash cams.
Or spy microphones.
Yeah.
Or spy small palm-sized spy cameras and whatnot.
No, it's like a dedicated, like, face-sized camera that you need to use that for. It's actually fairly big. Expensive. But it's actually fairly expensive too. But the point being is that it does exist, and you can do that now, but not on the cameras that they do it on.
Well, yeah, because
the same goes for radio signals. See, the thing is, when I learned when I was being a radio operator and I got actually certified, am I actually legally obligated? Now, if I have a radio set up, I'm actually legally obligated in the state of emergency to become a point of contact for the local area. That's what it's a requirement of becoming a radio operator for short band FM and whatnot.
So like all the time you hear people doing that kind of stuff like in games and books, it's because that's actually what happens. Neat.
Yeah. Like, it's actually a requirement is that part of the licensing procedure is that you acknowledge that during a state of emergency, if you have the equipment set up to send and receive AM or FM signals, that you are obligated to legally do so. USA! We like our redundancy.
God bless America.
Well, it's like Usually, open a prison. The prisoners will riot. In the USA, don't open the prison. The prisoners will fight you.
Yeah. But anyway. There's no clearing up the signal. You're either getting the signal or you're not. Or you're getting the butchered signal. There's no clearing it up. Like, you can do some sort of tuning to try and specify the signal as much as possible, but if it's being overlapped on the same frequency with other signals, there's no clearing up you can do.
Yeah. Like, I would say, the most you can do is be like, oh, I can kind of hear something at 98.7. Check 98.6 and 98.8.
Yeah, basically.
And, make sure the antenna's not fucked.
Well, not only that, technically speaking, using the short band FM systems that we have access to as civilians, because long band FM has been, acquired by the government. Technically speaking, even short band FM systems I could contact people in Russia depending on the cloud cover. Because
But why would you want to?
Yeah.
You're a Russian collaborator for the Trump campaign.
Exactly. But no, the thing is that clouds will actually reflect short band FM signal. Mountains will interfere with it. If it's too rainy, it'll interfere with it. Frequencies are easily disturbed because it's radiation, and radiation passing through a lot of objects will mess with that radiation. So it's actually quite impressive that we've managed to make radiation transmit sound.
Wasn't it a huge problem? Isn't it a huge problem because like a sunspot that we've been using to help boost signals or whatever is coming or disappearing?
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, what exactly is it, Mr. Actual Radio Operator?
It's been actually years. But no, sunspots will affect the sort of radiation that we use for radio waves and their ability to bounce in the atmosphere to our targets. Cloud coverage. The wind currents in terms of like type of weather that's happening. So again, that sort of relates to the clouds. Mountains. It also depends on like if there's planes flying through the area, if the area has a high level of traffic at the time. A lot can mess up the signal. You're gonna have a lot better luck doing short band FM outside of a city, especially because of the lead and the steel and the cement messing with the signals.
Well, I would just say, plus you've got to be careful because I'm sure that because there's a million radio stations. Not to mention.
Well, that's the thing though, is they use long band FM. Short band FM is not really used anymore. Actually, funnily enough, Vermont Burlington has one of the last few short band FM stations in the U.S. Because short band FM is mainly used for 18-wheelers, civilian contact, and military contact. Due to the difficulty intercepting it, because again of all the factors that I listed, and that it's very hard to be a long-range interception of short band FM, because if the clouds aren't there that day, you aren't getting anything.
The cloud says no.
The cloud. I speak for the cloud.
Great
the
clouds
say
give us
no.
energy. No.
Yeah, basically. But Burlington actually, Big Heavy World is the last short band FM station in the USA, and it's also it's only possible because it's been grandfathered in due to the laws involved, and on top of that, it's also only allowed because it's volunteer run. You can't actually earn money from a short band FM station. That's technically illegal.
Oh.
Because, like I said, it's mostly used for local communications, and as such, it is important that the local communications aren't being overridden by large amounts of radio stations. But the more you know. Anyway, so now that we've all learned about radio waves, let's continue with this story. Do you need reinforcements? Do we need reinforcements? Preparing shuttle, let's go blast our way in. And then so everyone got ready. Samus and Samara and Garrus were already waiting for her. Yep, it's just a 3-man team. So even though the author made the joke of not doing a 3-man team, they're still doing a 3-man team.
Because of course they are.
Yeah, because they're creatively hacks. Anyway, so precision annihilation, sealed off shuttle bay, blah blah, words and stuff, rules of engagement, shoot them. Commander, something's off, clear, the place is empty, move out. It's unnerving. Who locked the ship down? Shepard, I've managed to establish a private connection with you. There is something in the system, I cannot override it. You can't, why not? Unknown. Edie was an AI of her first of her kind. Blah,
Okay,
blah,
no, hold
blah.
on a minute.
No?
Edie is smart enough, and she's met enough. She would immediately go, Shepard, you have a problem. There is another AI there.
I would say it's 50-50. Cortana has experience interacting with other AIs, so I would say it is believable enough that she would know how to obfuscate herself from other AIs.
Okay, but even taking that into account, Edie would be able to go. She would at least say, at minimum, she would tell Shepard, "There's a crazy good VI in here."
Well, no, I wouldn't even say that. I mean, some of a more realistic response would possibly be something along the lines of, Shepard, please be aware there is a non-organic activity in the systems. I am having difficulty accessing and interacting with them. So, because, the Geth are a thing, and it's entirely possible this was a Geth ambush or setup from their point of view. And so the Geth being in the system could be a possible reason as to why Edie's having difficulty.
Geth are AI.
Yeah, but that's my point, though, is she would say non-organic. It wouldn't even have to be VI or AI. It would just be non-organic.
Okay,
until
yes,
further
I agree with you.
determination.
But all of that is just reinforcing my point of the problem of she isn't saying Shepard.
Yeah, I know. And I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is it wouldn't be like Shepard, it's an AI. It'd be like Shepard, non-organic, presence detected.
Yes, I'll agree with you on that.
Anyway, alright then, do you have any good news? There's schematics for this vessel, it's on your Omni tool. Shepard, there's something on this ship. I feel a strange presence. It's stained with blood and death. Okay, that's fair. Master Chief is fairly stained with blood and death.
I was gonna say, honestly, the only other person who would elicit that kind of reaction would be the fucking Doom Marine.
What's your casualty? Oh, and Luke Skywalker.
Not anymore.
I mean,
he blew up 2 Death Star.
Oh yeah, valid point. Valid point.
That's like several million people.
I mean, I guess
actually,
you could
hold
also
on. Let
say
me check what the crew complement of the Death Star was.
I guess you could also say Noble 6 because he technically had the same kill ratio kill count that Chief did.
What's your KDA? My deaths are 1.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas trees. Sneaky.
Chief has died.
Sneaky. The crew, just the crew, was 265,675, 52,276 gunners, 607,360 troops, just ground troops, an additional 31,000 stormtroopers, 4,300 ship support, and 18,000 pilots and support crew.
Yeah, so Luke's got quite a bit of death on his hands too.
And that was Death Star 1.
Yeah.
Well, in his defense, he wasn't the one who blew up the second Death Star.
That was Lando.
That was Lando.
That's true.
True, but he was involved in the direct
Lando,
assault.
who
on
took
him.
That was he did assist though. He did assist.
No,
So
I mean,
he's got like
no,
1.
but he wasn't the one. He
1.4
wasn't even
million.
remotely near it though. Like
What,
all he did was
1.4 million
turn the Jenny
kills.
off.
Oh yeah,
No,
I'd still count
no.
that as an assist though.
No,
Like that's
Luke
a hit
was on the Death Star.
That,
Remember?
that's a hit scan.
That's a hit.
That's a hit.
Yeah, so he's getting the assist. He's getting the assist on
He
that.
gets the assist. Killed the Emperor.
Okay, well, I was gonna say, okay, but by that logic, the most bloodstained being in the universe is Wedge fucking Antilles. Because remember, Wedge Antilles is the only man with 2 Death Stars.
Luke the Gamer. Your Emperor killed plus 100 points. 763,000 assists.
I feel like the gamer's mind would just be in like fucking overload as he has to sit there and read.
Guys,
Plus,
it just,
what
it
the
just says
fuck?
assist. 6 months later, it's still counting his assists.
It's still displaying them in like each individual name, and Luke's just like, no, please stop.
Luke Skywalker turns into a sad gibbering mess.
Private
names,
First
the
Class.
names.
Gene Catholic. Private First Class. Dennis Williams. Private First Class. Plus 50 points. Jacob Malloy. It just keeps going. It's just like, oh my god. Constantly gains experience for the next 20 years. Just as it
The entire universe lags while it calculates Skywalker's new level. Attention all residents, we apologize for the minor hitch in reality. Please blame Luke Skywalker.
We are now currently going through a warp gate and entering the warp without a slip space drive and without a Galar
And then
field.
Sonic comes out
Please
of his
enjoy
Pokeball
the,
and fights
3-minute trip.
Yeah, I would
Well,
say, but like I said, in all seriousness, the most bloodstained man in the Star Wars universe is totally Wedge Antilles because he's blown up. He's gotten the assists for 2 Death Stars and 3 SSDs because he blew up one of them twice.
Yes.
After it was rebuilt.
Yep.
Oh, and don't forget the time he single-handedly wiped out a planet's worth of Yuzon Vong with an orbital.
Luke uses Observe on Wedge. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark level.
Checks KD. Question mark, question mark, question mark, positive.
Confused.
Implying that he's died.
Extreme. I mean, technically, actually, based off what I said earlier, Chief actually has died in Halo canon.
Oh yeah, no, Chief's been rezzed.
Well, also, the Gravemind killed him multiple times.
That's what I'm saying.
Straight up
There have been
stopped
multiple
his heart.
moments where, clinically speaking, Chief is dead and he was just too angry.
Just literally.
The beginning of Halo 3 comes to mind.
You're the gamer, you're going around, everyone's got like 5 kills, 10 kills, 0 deaths, like,
I would say, you look at Mandalorians and they're averaging, 450.
You look over at Chief and she's like, 10 million dead, 5 deaths. It's like, wait, what?
Confusion.
Look over at Doomslayer. Literally, we don't fucking know Infinite 9 deaths. Yes.
Looks at Wedge Antilles. What the fuck?
What?
Cannot calculate. Error 2.
No, Sneaky. Stack Overflow.
Imagine that actually being a plot point. Wedge Antilles kills so many people, he stack overflows his KDA into levels.
See, now I just want a gamer fic about Wedge Antilles secretly trying to conceal the fact that he's the most terrifying man in the universe.
Literally
and every
level
time he
1 billion. Because the stack overflow.
Every time he gets sent to fight another Death Star, he's just like, oh no. Oh, is this the day they find out that I'm secretly more powerful than a god?
Oh, see now we're having fun. Now let's finish up this fic and go to sleep. Anyway.
See, that's what we get for having fun.
Indeed. Anyway, so blah 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 aura of other creatures, biotics, blah blah.
We don't need no
Tomorrow
stinking
sensor.
biotics.
Karen, can you open the door? No, the door is locked too tight. Damn it, I should have brought Tally. It's like, well, why didn't you? You're not exactly restricted to a 3-man team since this isn't a video game.
I was going to say, in fact, as we've seen on those shuttles, there's room for at least a 4th person on the seat. And let's be real, those are the kind of seats where you could probably fit 6 people per shuttle. Y'all just got to get a little cozy.
I mean, to be fair, you could also just like have someone on Rex's lap. Rex could just have someone on his fucking lap at that point.
New purchasable cosmetic in the Mass Effect store. The shuttle.
Please stop sitting there. Why? We need it to have more room in the shuttle. Shepard, please stop sitting there.
Shepard, please stop shaking your booty.
Immediate cessation.
Rex just being complete and total harem protagonist.
Rex is just looking over at Miranda. What is the human phrase? I need an adult.
I was just imagining, what if Rex and Grunt were in there?
Rex just like has like a complete poker face. It's just like this shit every fucking day. With like Shepard just like what? Shepard is the player just wanting to like screw everyone on the
Okay.
What?
I was about to click on an image that I wanted, and then Microsoft Explorer was like, "Hey, we loaded the images for you. Let us move that one."
This is heresy. Please remove it.
Yes, that's exactly how I picture her mocking him.
Female Space Marines do not exist. Delete this.
Excuse me. Actually, you affect
And once again, it's like, my response to that is yes, and Sisters of Battle are way cooler.
Why is that woman strung up to an organ string at the top of her lungs? Shut up, it's music, you heretic.
Oh, don't forget. So, wait a minute. She believed in a dude on a throne so hard she turned into an angel of death.
Yes.
And then, of course, don't forget literally the most terrifying thing in 40k canon, the Sisters of Silence.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
I am such a psychic void, I eat the souls of normies.
No, not only that, just I am such a psychic void that literally reality yeets itself around me.
No, it's not that they're yeeting reality. It's that I'm so psychically void, I enforce reality.
So people just start dying. You should be dead. Oh no, dead.
No, Sneaky, that's what happens to Eldar.
I am aware. I am aware.
Is that
remember, it happens to normie, like normal people that spend too much time around them.
The chapter master of the Sisters of Battle literally kills people by just being around them.
Isn't that why Slanesh hates the Sisters of Battle?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, remember, it's specifically the Obsidian Knights. It's specifically the Obsidian Knights who are all anti-psychers.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, the whole reason why Slanesh hates the Sisters of Battles is, 1, they only love the Emperor, 2, because the other psychic bullshit.
They are thirsty. They are so thirsty for the Emperor, they literally cannot be corrupted by chaos.
Come over here, we've got Chaos Marines. They are not the Emperor.
They are not the Emperor. Be gone, Falsinos. Do not tempt me further.
Boy, your sister over there. She's looking. That sister over there. She's looking real hot. She is not the Emperor.
She is not the Emperor. I have no tolerance for your taunts.
Just angry, sneaky, angry Slanesh. What do I have to do to tempt you people? Be the Emperor.
Be the Emperor.
Makes herself look like the Emperor. You are not really the Emperor.
Be gone. Great. Now I have in my mind a Sister of Battle just screaming "Be gone" thought.
Of course. As if they would scream anything else when rejecting not the Emperor.
Anyway, so they feel the psychic aura of Chief, and they blow open a door. And they're walking down through this empty hallway, and it's basically imagine a Dead Space hallway. That's the feel the author's trying to portray here.
I'm sorry. I just imagine Chief walking through an Asari ship, fucking stomping the corpses.
Have my babies. No, there is only one person I wish to be with.
What, Sneaky? Why have we turned all the Sisters of Battle into Rogel Dorn from the Emperor's text-to-speech device?
I am many years old.
I am many years old indeed.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Now I just picture Shepard like either that or Shepard dealing with grunts by just Clark stomping them. Bam!
Oh, what's that one picture?
Where they'll just
have it in
like
the Ruby section.
Chief turns a corner, sees a bit of flood form, turns around,
leaves.
Nope.
What if actually no?
Oh my god, Dead Space 1 and 2 still scare me sometimes. It's fucking...
Dead Space 1 is still legitimately scary, even when you know the scares.
Dude, I swear 2 scared the shit out of me even more.
Dude, Dead Space fucked me up for a while, okay? I'm gonna be
also,
honest here.
Probably one of my favorite moments of all time on the internet. It came from Jesse Cox, but back when he was still funny. The first time the tentacle busts out of the vent, he just screamed, "Please, I'm not a schoolgirl."
Alright, that's fair. No, I made the bad. So I'm a paragon of bad choices, right?
Yes, we're aware.
I made the poor choice of at the young age of whenever the hell BioShock came out, of playing BioShock for the first time ever at midnight. Fucking the splicers scared me shitless.
Man, that first splicer. Well, I remember the first time I played BioShock, cause the sea captain who sings "Jesus Loves Me." When you grew up in a super religious family,
right?
And like you regularly sang that song with a bunch of other kids is like a feel good thing,
right?
Oh, that guy gets so much creepier.
I mean, for me, that just brings up images of like, time to bring out the anti-personal bullets. Because that's a nitro splicer.
I'm just saying, it's just like the first time I heard him, I was like, oh, what the fuck?
But, it's, but yeah, so I did the same thing with Dead Space 2. Is I decided, I was like, it's 1 a.m. I've never heard of Dead Space before, but this sounds awesome.
You idiot.
Oh my god, you deserve everything that happened.
And I was just like, wow. It looks like I'm not sleeping for the next 3 fucking days.
Fucking Dead Space 2 scared I was just like on edge the entire time because
I'll be real.
Imagining just like shit coming out of
it took me a good 30 minutes when the needle scene happened. Because I was like, Sneaky. It especially messed me up because
I know. I literally could not play. I had to stop playing the game because of that scene, where I was just like, I literally cannot go farther.
I am too my own eyes are too much of a psychological nope.
Literally triggering.
Which game we're talking about?
Dead Space,
Space
2, the needle
eye
in the
scene.
eye scene.
Put the needle in the eye.
Oh,
Literally
that's-
triggering.
no, that's part of the reason that I had to put Prey down after the first 3 hours. So like, I can't do this
Oh.
power up method. I can't do this.
No,
Oh yeah.
It's just
No.
how do you power up? Oh, I'm gonna stab needles in my eyes in first person. I was like, I couldn't handle this in Dead Space 2.
See now,
Honest-
I could
it
have
was-
got I
ugh.
got past that a little bit in Prey, but in Dead
Well, I
Space
could-
2, the
like-
whole scene itself where Isaac's like, because like the thing is in first person, like you aren't freaking out about it, like your character's
Yeah.
acting like this is a normal thing.
It's
In
just
Dead Space
discomforting.
2, it's just literally like he's freaking the fuck out, and he's like, "No!"
He's like, don't do it, and then
Yeah.
you have to. The other thing that makes it super hard is you have to be you're like, okay, use the mouse and keyboard to move the needle and push it down, and you're like, no.
No.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
a
give
hard
Prey
no.
this. I can give Prey this much at least. Like it's uncomfortable, but the way the needles are positioned, it's not actually going into the eye. It's going into the space between the nose and the eye, like right in that little duct
I
there.
don't
It's
care.
still like. If I pick that game up again, every time I find one of those, I'm going to have to close my eyes or just turn away from the screen.
I mean, alternatively, you can just play the Blood and Iron playthrough.
I just muted my computer, and then I was just like, all right, just gonna do it.
But oh god, no, that whole section was just. I'm so glad it autosaves after that,
Oh god, yes.
because when I encountered the immortal one, I was just like, what the shit, I'm fucking dead. I was just like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to replay through that.
Yeah, it loads you back in, and I was like, oh god, I don't have to do that again. Thank you.
Oh, not okay, man, not okay.
That face when first encountering the stalkers.
Hey, go perform brain surgery on yourself, person who's terminally afraid of hospitals because of brain surgery, who woke up on the operating table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, fuck stalkers. Literally just fuck stalkers.
Alright, but yeah, anyway, so,
Oh, and then there was the baby room in 2.
oh.
No, stop.
Oh.
Stop.
Yeah,
Let's
Even
move
I
on.
was like, this is a little rough.
I was
Let's move on,
I was
please.
getting bad vibes from the entire. Honestly, I was getting bad vibes from the entirety of Dead Space 2. I was just like, this is not. I don't like any of this. I know what's gonna happen, and I don't like any of this.
Which, to be fair, was beautiful design.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, the Dead Space series in general, even Dead Space 3 to an extent, was still just fantastic design.
Which I'll give Dead Space 3 credit for making the decision to go, we're going to put something in only for multiplayer, which is selective hallucinations.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it with my buddy, and there was a point, the first time it happened, my buddy's just was like, oh shit, and started, I'm just watching my buddy, his laser sights are freaking out, and he's just plugging the ground, and I'm like, what? He's like, help me, why aren't you shooting? And I'm like, what are you shooting at? There's nothing here, dude.
Yeah. But no, once you figure it out, the minigun with stasis ammo and the force gun attachment was just literally unstoppable.
I mean,
GG.
yes, but
Dead Space 3 was not a well-balanced game.
Dead Space 3 is a blast with a good friend.
yes.
Well,
I
anything
played
can be a
that,
blast with a good
surprisingly, I
friend.
played that with Combat Crazy, and that
See,
was...
I can play Left 4 Dead with you guys and still
Interesting.
enjoy it. Actually, wait, no, I play it. I tolerate you with
you. Fuck yourself. I can play video games with you and still enjoy it. That is the opposite point we were making. Fuck it.
I'm sorry, what happened?
So
I
Max,
insulted
Max
Sneaky's
says,
ability to play video games.
So Max says, games are fun when you're playing with your friends. And
Yes.
Nosehair says, games can still be fun even with playing with your friends.
Yeah, fuck you. The only reason I suffered through Borderlands is because you wanted to. I'm sorry.
Piece of shit.
After I'd already beaten them and was like, I don't really want to, you're like, ah, come on, just play through Borderlands 1 and 2 with me. I was like, fine, I'll be a good friend.
Oh.
Hey, we had fun with one. Fuck off.
Samara
Although we did
declares a
stop
fatwa
after
on Chief.
one playthrough. We were just like, we're done with this. This game's bad.
So
I'm
Samara,
sorry I made you go through that.
Samara declares a fatwa on the Master Chief. And they're looking through everything, and they're like, well, lots of people are dead and stuff, and cryogenic tube. So much for her Krogan theory, and then Shepard's like, oh man, I'm really scared and shit. What the fuck is this creature that killed everyone? Meanwhile, we intellectuals know that is actually Master
Which,
Chief.
again, so let's assume, gonna go out on a limb here.
Yep.
Let's assume that Cortana isn't completely insane.
Yeah.
And let's assume that the Chief isn't insane.
Okay.
The Chief would not immediately murder her.
If the Chief came out of cryostasis at the end of Halo 3 and surrounded by a bunch of aliens talking in foreign languages, it really depends on whether they are pointing guns at him or not. If they were pointing guns at him, he would probably shoot first, ask later.
Okay, but these are Asari.
Right, but the thing, though, is that the Covenant has a habit of introducing new species whenever Chief
Sneaky,
kills too many people.
let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
These are the Asari.
Right.
A race known for, at least
Well,
nowadays,
and so-
peaceful first contacts.
Right. Yep.
So even if there was, because assuming they have decent medical technology, they would know it was humanoid and they'd know it was human.
Yeah.
And it's in cryostasis.
Yeah.
So we'll wake it up, and we'll just have a normal, we'll have an ambassador in there, and like one other person who's a really strong biotic, and we won't have any guns. Visible guns, I should say.
Right.
So Chief comes out of ice. Chief goes, these are strange aliens. Cortana, can we understand these aliens? No, Chief, we can't understand these aliens. The Asari will go, oh, this guy's weird. We can't understand him. And so then everybody starts making peaceful gestures.
And then a random Krogan shoots.
Well, yes, except for the
There
fact
we
that
go.
there's no Krogan. There was only Turian for some reason on the Asari vessel and Asari. And it looks like they were clips. Which, again, so they were clips. Yes. They would probably wake Chief up at gunpoint. However, the little bit of problem I have with this whole scenario. So the scenario is that the eclipse. I'm gonna draw this out because fucking hell, why not at this point? We're already gone past the time. Might as well add some extra effects to it, not just a fucking blanket. So, fuck off. Install on exit. So you got the eclipse, the Big E. Excellent. And they're opening a cryopod filled with Chief. They're probably going to point guns at him if they're opening the pod. I don't really know why they would open the pod. It sounds more like the Eclipse would probably sell the pod than open it. Because, again, you got to keep in mind, humans are fairly unique. There is only 3 species that have the exact same articulation as humans do in Mass Effect. And that's Asari, humans, and Batarians. And Batarians would not have this advanced tech. Asari would already know about this advanced tech, and that leaves humans. Humans who came up with Metagel, which had revolutionized the medical industry of the entire galaxy, and that was within 5 years of contact with the galaxy. So, Asari could justifiably be, okay, this is probably some seriously whack human shit. Sell it, possibly, because again, they are Eclipse. They wouldn't just be like, yo, human, so we found your shit. As amusing as that would be, just like completely normal Asari frigate finds this derelict vessel, finds the cryogenics, goes, this is probably a human inside, contacts System
Time
Alliance.
to market it.
Contact System Alliance. Hey, we found a derelict vessel of yours with a human inside it. You what? Sends them the human. This is
isn't
not
ours. This is not mine.
But and then your final guesstimation is that it's a mech, but obviously a mech wouldn't be in cryostasis. So you're the Eclipse, and you're like, hey, let's point our guns at the large armored creature in the cryostasis, which I mean is fair enough, right? So you see this giant, bulky cryostasis filled with this fucking was he 6'5" or some shit, fucking massive human. At least you assume it's a human, right?
Who has, even if it looks like super old, clearly an SMG.
No, he went to sleep with no weapons. He attached the assault rifle to the outside of his.
I thought he went in with the SMGs on his legs, like usual.
I don't think so, but regardless.
Okay, but regardless, there's a gun on the outside.
There's probably a gun in the area when they found it. So he's clearly combat related. And you point your guns at him, which is a fair enough justification. I don't know why you're waking him exactly. Regardless of who you are, you're either returning him to the Systems Alliance or you're killing the person. Obviously not killing them, you're selling the person. But even so, say for some reason you hypothetically were ordered to open the cryo chamber. Unless you like rolled like a 5 on your intelligence and wisdom, I'm gonna say the average person would be like, yo, hey, unknown vessel, unknown guns, unknown armor, probably human. Let's pretend to not be deadly space pirates when we wake the guy up. So the idiot ball was held, and they all held him at gunpoint or some shit. So Chief is, maybe not used to being woken up by aliens, is woken up by aliens speaking a language he doesn't understand, held at gunpoint. Even then, no one's firing at him yet. Chief, not knowing these aliens, because again, keep in mind, if it's Covenant would already be firing at him and wouldn't have woken him up. So it's unknown aliens.
The Covenant would have gone, demon! Fucking yeeted into the sun.
Yeah, exactly. So Covenant, it's not Covenant, which means Chief
To be
would
fair,
at least...
Cortana would have woken him up.
Maybe. It depends if Cortana's in standby mode, which is an excuse, is what I would believe. But so say hypothetically in this scenario, Cortana is in standby mode or is inside Chief's armor for some AU reason. Fine. Chief is woken up by the Asari and they're pointing guns at him, speaking a language he doesn't understand. Will he be defensive? Probably, maybe.
I would say, and even if they look vaguely superficial to the Covenant,
yes.
Chief isn't dumb.
If they look like blue humans with tentacle heads. Okay, a bit weird, but hey, they aren't shooting me yet.
Tau.
Yeah, they aren't shooting me yet, so clearly they aren't Covenant, or at least if they are Covenant, they don't know about me, which means I shouldn't engage them in combat yet until they start shooting me, because I might be able to escape, because I don't know how many people are on this ship that I'm on now.
Or even if they're going to immediately start telling me.
Exactly. And so, of course, buying time for Cortana to hack their communications and translate their language so he can listen in. All things Chief would do. So say the idiot ball was not only held, but was forcibly injected into their brains. And for some reason, they started firing at the Chief. And then,
to be fair, it's the Eclipse. It's a bunch of extremely
horny,
twitchy pirates. And maybe the chief moving at just normal chief speed freaks them the hell out.
Yeah, again, so that's what I'm saying, though, is possibly the only occurrence is that for some reason, the Eclipse not only wake him with their guns drawn, but they also shoot at him at some point in time when he's getting out, because he's not responding to them in Black Basic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cortana just like says like, I guess like the reason would be like Cortana just like mentions that their guns are warming up or something.
Regardless of the reason, so Chief kills them all, of course, right? So now we have a justifiable scenario in which the Eclipse engage the Chief in hostilities and Chief yeets them. And so, Samara and co. board the ship, and they notice everyone is Eclipse soldiers, and Samara goes, "What the person here has done is unjustifiable, and I must kill them as per my code."
I mean, we've hashed it. There was no way that the chief would slaughter an entire ship of Asari, pirates or not, without at some point going, I think we've made a mistake.
Well, not even that. It would be a moment of, like, surrender. Like trying to figure out if they're Covenant or not, where the UNSC is, where he is. Lots of information he needs to gather for this sort of thing, but it's just Samara aboard ship. Whatever happened here was completely inexcusable and has no reason to happen. So clearly, I must try and kill Master Chief. So we can set up a scenario in which Samara battles Master Chief, and Master Chief almost kills her. But Shepard, being a human, says, "Chief, stop." And the Chief goes, "Shock-faced, you are human. What are you doing with alien person thing that tried to kill me?" And then Shepard
Except
goes,
Chief
"You should
has
join my team."
Chief has been helping the
Yes,
Arbiter.
yes, except for the part where the author's completely retarded and doesn't know how to write a believable scenario. So, with
Yes.
all that being said,
Here's the thing, right? Here's a much more believable scenario that makes a perfect sense, literally using Samara. I don't care why he did it. He's murdered a shitload of Asari. I'm a Justicar. That doesn't fly.
maybe. It really depends on how you characterize Samara, because do keep in mind that the loyalty mission for Samara has already been performed in this scenario.
Okay. But even then, one of those options on the loyalty mission is kill her daughter because she's a monster.
Well, yes. Well, I mean, it will. The daughter dies either way unless you replace Samara.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. One of the outcomes for that is I have to continue to do my duty as a Justicar.
Yeah, but
so
you do keep in mind that Samara does waive out all her Justicaric actions besides her daughter, aside in lieu of Shepard's orders until her oath to Shepard is over, at which point in time she will exact whatever recompense is required for her code to be justified.
Yes, but she could also just turn to Shepard and be like, you could easily have her just turn to Shepard and be like, this person's killed a lot of Asari. Even if they were pirates, this is brutal and beyond necessary.
That's right. But anyway, so regardless of the point, we've already outlined several different scenarios that this could have happened in that would have been more sensical in terms of the universe, and several different scenarios that would have
none of
been
it's going to
able
happen,
to.
though.
Well, of course not. It's going to happen exactly as I predicted, likely, where the next chapter is going to be Shepard and Samara and Garrus find Master Chief, and Master Chief incapacitates them all, or goes for a killing blow on Samara or something, and Shepard's finally like, "No, stop." And Chief's like, words and stuff, and then Shepard says words and stuff, and then Shepard convinces Chief to come aboard his crew. Oh yeah, of course. Then there's the moment of Cortana interacting with Edie and whatever happens from that. But literally, it's just so much. There is so much unnecessary forced conflict in the way the author has set it up so far, from what we can tell from the first chapter.
Yeah, and again, you could even just have all of Shepard's crew go, boy, this is a
Also,
lot of dead people.
I don't
We
find
should-
it particularly interesting to be it from Shepard's point of view, because again, keep in mind this is a character crossing over into the Mass Effect universe as far as we effectively know, because the Systems Alliance and all of Mass Effect is normal as far as we
Yeah,
effectively know,
I was
because
gonna
the
say,
author has
I
never
didn't
set
come
up.
here to hear more about Shepard. I want
Yeah,
I want
want
the
it to be from
perspective
point
of the
view.
chief waking up in the ice cube going,
Exactly.
who am I?
And then maybe then you can have like the justifiable like Shepard being conflicted, like Shepard doesn't know and chief thoughts, and it's just far more interesting in terms of a narrative, in terms of character development, in terms of setting up the world, because even then you get to have Chief be the focal point of a narrative of explaining Mass Effect and any sort of changes. Because again, keep in mind this is taking place during Mass Effect 2, and this is a original character Shepard as it always is. But so we don't know what sort of choices Shepard did in 1 and 2 up until this point. And using Chief as a narrative point of explaining all these choices would be good, but instead the author chooses to pick the point of perspective being Shepard and just glossing over whatever Shepard possibly might have done. Instead of using the Chief as a foil for explaining Shepard's personality quicker than just info dumping onto us, and also developing the rest of the characters at the same time as Chief learns this information and reacts to it and interacts with the crew. Instead, Chief is just a recruitable NPC that has a couple lines that Shepard occasionally interacts with. As far as we can tell what will happen, because we don't know, because the author made that whole meta joke of, oh, it's just a 3-person squad, why don't you do more than that? And then he's like, ha ha ha, and then plays with a 3-person squad. So, yeah. Anyway, with all that being said, it is now quite past our point of time where we normally close, but we appreciate everyone that's stuck around till this point. Not much else to say, and thank you for coming. Be sure to tell other people about this podcast. We need more people here. We always need more and more people, because without more people, we do not have words and stuff to say to people, and we just have to rehash the same stories over and over again, and cover more bad fan fiction, which is 2 things that no one else wants to hear.
I mean, I don't think we'd ever actually run out. There's way too much.
Well, we'd never run out of fan fiction, but I only have so many life experiences to draw from in terms of storytelling.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I'm not that old yet.
Back when I was a 5-year-old.
Anyway, so I will see you all next Tuesday, actually, because at the time of this podcast, I will be heading out tomorrow to go down to Florida, which means I won't be here for Friday because I'll be celebrating my birthday.
Enjoy living in the state that's
boy.
literally an old person home.
Hopefully acquiring currency from my
Old
relatives.
person / drug dealer / swamp.
Is there a difference?
But
Well, you don't normally find old people homes in swamps, but Florida's an exception.
I'll see you all next week, because remember, there is always more and it always gets worse.